Hi, today is November 30th, 2024. My artistic name is Aledra. I am 42 years old, I am Brazilian, and a visual artist. I have been drawing since I was a child, like most artists, but I started drawing every day when I was 14, when creative became a necessity for me. I drew colorful, symbolic, abstract, and intuitive shapes in a kind of automatic gesture. I also started painting with acrylic paint on experimental canvases made by my dad, and gradually I developed my own aesthetic universe. During the same period, while I was in high school, I attended a solo exhibition organized by my school's art teacher, which encouraged me to choose to study visual arts, even though it was considered a very difficult profession to have. During my brief time at the Fundação Armando Álvares Penteado Art Academy in São Paulo, Brazil, I came into contact with a rich artistic universe, significantly expanding my understanding of art. However, since I had interrupted my formal studies, much of my learning was self-taught. I have always loved fashion and took jewelry and gemology courses, experimenting with design and goldsmithing techniques. After this period, I returned to the visual arts, working as a curator and art columnist for the digital magazine Psicanalítica. Little by little, I started producing drawings and paintings and resumed my studies in painting and art history at the Tomiotaki Institute in São Paulo, Brazil. In this intense production phase, I switched from acrylic paint to oil paint. Sculpture emerged naturally in the process of making paintings and drawings as a complement. I desired to work with a gentle material, both tactile and visual. I began to experiment with the use of fabrics in three-dimensional creations, a choice favored by the ease of acquiring the material from my parents, who were in the clothing manufacturing business. Later, as a movement of action and compensation, my desire went in the opposite direction, and I started working with cement, concrete, finding balance in ceramics. My influences range from the philosopher Henri Bergson, studies on beauty and aesthetics, art brut, abstractionism, to the history of dress and jewelry. I also really like the aesthetics of Nordic art, the Cobra group, organic brush strokes, imperfection, and free gestures. I like to feel the sensation caused by color and the tactile aspect of painting, which instigates the imagination, pleasure, and delight. I also seek inspiration from artists as Gork, Soutine, Volpe, Asger Jorn, Rita Ackerman, Will Cotton, and Manuel Canu, among others. In painting, I am focused on reconciling a free, more gestural material, shallow abstract brush strokes with something more constructed and thought out, almost figurative, make it fit together. In sculpture, I want to make more figurative cakes and rings and more abstract shapes of shoes, in addition to expanding my research on bustles and trying to make larger pieces, some with corsets boning. For me, the biggest challenge of being an artist are being able to support yourself financially, being able to exercise as much freedom in creation as possible, maintaining constancy, and constructing a discourse that corroborates the work of art. The advice I would give to my younger self would be to keep creating, don't stop, don't think about give up, even in difficult times, because we artists don't choose art, art chooses us. We are born artists and there is no other way. I love experimenting with alternative materials. I use in my creations a lot of cement, fabric, latex balloons, paraffin, and polymer clay. I also like to mix them in the same piece. While I create, I like to listen to a lot of music, from Vivaldi to Cat Power, but sometimes I like silence too. The best reaction anyone has ever had to my work was from an artist who said he wished he had created what I created. I hope that people take away from my art a sense of pleasure brought about by beauty, and that they feel inspired by the new possibilities that open up from the sense of renewed wonder and hope. I am currently participating in a group exhibition at Uncool Gallery in Brooklyn, New York, until December 21st. Thank you so much for following me so far. Bye.